Hello and welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Investing Club, the place investors go to gain actionable advice, learn about current market trends, and hear war stories from other professional investors out there in the field today. Before we get started, I have two quick housekeeping items to cover. First, if you like the episode, we would very much appreciate a like, subscribe, and share. It is the best way to support the show and keep it running. Second, if you are a new investor looking to get started in real estate or an experienced investor looking to take your investing to the next level, we created an ebook for you that will cover how to find deals that are actually deals, how to finance those deals with little to no money down, and how to exit those deals for maximum value. On top of that, I throw in an insane amount of free bonuses that you'll have access to once you buy the ebook. All we charge is our admin cost to keep the show running. So, if you're serious about real estate investing and want to create both active and passive income as an investor, head on over to the website at therealestateinvestingclub.com and click on the button that says Get the ebook to grab yourself a copy today. So with that said, let's dive right in. Today we have a very special guest with us, ready to drop some investor knowledge on you. So buckle up, grab your pen and paper, and enjoy the ride. All right, we are live with another episode of the Real Estate Investing Club. Today we have with us Maurice Philogene. Maurice is a man of many, many talents. He is senior executive, real estate investor, restaurant owner, international explorer, having been to 96 countries. Woo! Public servant, both federal agent and police officer, and an inspiring philanthropist. That is... man, you're a true Renaissance man, so I'm glad to have you here, Maurice. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm doing good.
Thanks for having me on.
Yep. To get us started, why don't you tell everybody, where you are right now? It's 96 countries. You could be anywhere in the world.
Actually, I was overseas 2 days ago. I just got back from being in Lebanon, Cyprus, and Turkey. But right now I'm at home in Washington, D.C.
Awesome. Yeah. So dive into your story. This is real estate investing. Sounds like you can talk about just about anything, but we're here for the investing side of things. So
sure.
How'd you get started in investing?
Yeah. Again, thanks for having me on, and thanks for sharing good information with your listeners. I've caught a few episodes now, and I think it's really good. So again, my name is Maurice, born in New York, raised in Boston, got down to D.C. because University of Virginia. My family's an immigrant family from Haiti, had a strong family upbringing coming through, but just like many immigrant families, education was the backdrop of the house, not necessarily investing. But my story begins with me graduating from University of Virginia, where I was doing Air Force ROTC, so I ended up in the Air Force on the reserve side. I was doing mechanical engineering and also playing football. So it was just a busy guy. Yeah. And I got out and I dreaded the notion of being in office life my whole career, my whole life, if you will. Like I just didn't want to be in an office. It just didn't make sense to me.
I feel
I think that's like everybody, right? But for some reason, I was thinking about it really early. I got hired by the same consulting firm I work for today. So I've been at a global consulting firm for 23 years. And then was reservist for the Air Force as well. But real estate came because I bought my first place when I was 22, 23 years old. It happened to be at the beginning of the real estate boom, 2002 to 2008 cycle. The place, I bought it, a similar floor plan next door sold for $30,000 more. Asked my father what that meant. He explained equity. I had no idea what it was at the time. I went to the local library. The internet was just coming around. So I'm aging myself.
Pre-internet. I love it.
Yeah, I think internet was like 96, really. This is like 2002. So it wasn't totally mature. So I went to the library. I read 10 books in one day. And then by the end of the year, I had bought 10 more places. So that is how real estate got started for me, because I just bought a house.
Damn, man, I love it. 10 in 1 year. What market were you in?
So I was living in Alexandria, Virginia at the time, so Northern Virginia, but DC metropolitan area. And I was buying, those first 10 were between Arlington, Virginia, Alexandria, Virginia, some places in Maryland, and I think that's it. I hadn't squirted into DC yet, but it was just around Northern Virginia with a broker I met, and she kind of convinced me to buy little condos as opposed to like one big massive place.
Multifamily, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, so you went with condos. You didn't go with even single family. It was
it was condos. Her rationale, I can't remember her name, man, but I mean, she was older, so I hope she's alive today. But I want to hug her because she convinced me that buying multiple condos and dealing with the condo fee so I would have less maintenance was the move for someone like me who was just starting and was corporate, and I was just starting my career and all that type of stuff. So it was just condos for the most part, but here and there I did a few single family homes.
Yeah, no, I mean that, thinking about it, that makes a lot of sense for your context, because, if you're working a job in addition to being an investor, you don't want to have to deal with the broken toilets. You don't want to have to deal with all that shit that comes along with owning the buildings or having to do with the maintenance. So
she hooked me up on that one.
Yeah, that's great. So that was the first year. Shit, you're already at 10. You're 2003. You're already at 10. That's most people's goals. So, what happened from that point forward?
You know what happened? I did something good, man. I started the notion of real estate was not like the forefront of my mind, and even today in my business, and I've shifted to apartment complexes and mobile home parks now. And even restaurants, because it was always, once I figured it out and studied the concept of financial freedom, which to me really meant time wealth, I was willing to work ass backwards to generate W-2 income, to be able to purchase more properties. And I had this notion that I could buy them and pay them off one by one.
Yeah.
And I didn't care how long it took. I was willing to put in the work. And if I fast forward to 2014, so we're going 2002 to 2014, I got up to somewhere like 35 houses. And I was self-managing, which was rough. The 2008 financial crisis happened, which was really rough, but I refused to give in. And when I ran into problems, I negotiated with banks and did what I needed to do. So no bankruptcy, no, it was a tough 4 years between 2008 and 2012, but I wanted my freedom that bad, if you will. So everything I did was about freedom and time wealth, getting there. I mean, and my concept of it evolved over time. Mm-hmm. So what I did was I bought like those 10 condos. I went to work for my consulting firm. I volunteered overseas, active duty military, where I could get some more money. So I would buy the first 2, buy another one, pay off the first one, and then use my W-2 income plus the rent, plus my W-2, and then pay off the second one. And it just kind of snowballed over all these years until the point where I had 18 paid off places. And it was when I got there that I realized that my passive income was exceeding my corporate salary. And I knew I had kind of, did something good and created a way technically where I didn't have to answer to anybody or any one thing. And that was worth it. So that was in 2014. I kind of checked off the financially free checkbox.
That's awesome to hear. I bet that was if there was an actual checkbox that somebody could just give us and be like, there, you can finally check it off. That would be nice.
Yeah. It was a lot, man. And I don't want I never want these things to sound like it's some easy story or whatever. Investors or entrepreneurs or solopreneurs, if you want to call them that. My 20s and early 30s were a tough time, like doing that on my own. I've learned better that it's better to be part of a team.
Yeah.
But that was a rough go between dealing with banks on my own, credit issues, working, being deployed, properties, evicting people. Man, when I look back on it, I'm like, damn, I could have done that a lot better. But to be honest, I would never change it because all it did was make my skin that much thicker and that much more hardened towards any of the issues that I was going to run into.
Yep. And we only have a 20/20 vision looking backwards, right?
That's right.
Awesome. So, 2014, you that's when the point when you kind of realized, you had these houses paid off, and you'd made it. You'd reached the goal of financial freedom that you were kind of aiming for. And since then, it sounds like you've continued. Now it's more about legacy. It's more about impact. You're continuing your
100%.
journey.
100%.
And you're into mobile home parks, multifamily, restaurants. You're speaking my language, except for restaurants. It's not. I'm not into the restaurant game, but I'm closing on my first mobile home park out in George here, and then I'm looking on doing a 1031 into a multifamily out in Cleveland.
Okay.
And so, speak to somebody. Kind of take us through your first few deals when it came to both of those asset classes. How did that work?
Yeah. So the shift was actually not real estate related. When I jumped from single family to multifamily, it wasn't real estate related. It was personal growth related. Because what I realized was, look, even though you have quote unquote money, if you will, and when I say like financial freedom, I just mean that people have more passive income than they have expenses. Yeah. And then you're technically free, right? But you quickly learn that money doesn't provide you happiness, and money's not a growth thing. So what happened to me was I realized I was still pressing the same button. I was still buying condos and like pressing repeat, and just mentally I wasn't getting anywhere with that. So I know how to challenge myself, and I went ahead and invested in my investment career per se, paid for an investment seminar, learned the multifamily, hired a mentor in the multifamily space. That was in 2015. It took me about 2 years between a deployment overseas to the Mideast and Turkey, to the Mideast and Africa, to get over the limiting beliefs of if I could do it. I give my mentor at the time, his first name's Craig, I give him a lot of credit for flying down to DC from Rhode Island to spend 48 hours with me and like kick my ass a little bit. Like,
you got this, man. Come on.
Yeah, it was just a mental thing for some reason. But finally it worked out, and I went in LP or a limited partner on one deal, and I put in a bunch of money. That went really well, but what that did was expose me to the process, which is what he kind of told me to do. And then within the next 6 months, I had bought my first mobile home park. So I did an LP on an apartment complex in Texas first. Then I bought a mobile home park on my own with another partner, no investors. We did it seller finance with the owner. Awesome. And then since then, it's just been a whirlwind, man. I mean, I'm like 15, 16, 17 complexes in now. It's been one hell of a ride. But the shift was not money related. It was, I wanted to do more as an investor. I wanted to create legacy. I wanted to be around people who knew more than I knew. So yeah, not necessarily money, but it was about learning more.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and in every evolution, I read this book and it was talking about the kind of using the Maslow's hierarchy of needs kind of idea. And it was talking about how in every evolution we have no choice. We have to evolve to the next level. And if you got that first layer done, that your needs satisfied, your financial needs satisfied, you have to evolve. Your who you are requires you to get to the next level. So
for sure.
I love it. So just talking about, going from single family to multifamily, what was the things that kind of surprised you? Like, let's go into apartment complexes versus mobile homes.
Yeah.
Or not talking about mobile homes. So for apartment complexes, what was the thing that kind of stood out versus the single families?
Scale. I had no idea that, one, if it's non-recourse, then you are not personally liable, that the lending institutions value the property based on the revenue that the property's creating, okay? And that if I have one condo and the condo's vacant, then I'm 100% vacant, right? If I have a 100-unit apartment building and I have one place vacant, then I'm still 99% occupied and the money's still coming.
Yep.
So that was one thing that really surprised me that I never thought about. The other thing that surprised me, I did a deal last April of 2019. It was a 12-unit boutique building in Maryland in a very hard to get area. That deal took me more effort than a 104 unit building that I did. So it's really, people see the size of the project or the physical size of the project, and they think that's equatable to the amount of effort or stress it's going to take to get the deal done. In fact, they're pretty much all the same. It just takes a little bit longer to do the diligence, the physical diligence, walking around, all that type of stuff. So what really surprised me with multifamily was the scale, the fact that the property was, the value of the property was directly attributable to the net operating income, and that no matter the size of the property, it's pretty much all the same. So my partners and I are trying to go after bigger properties now.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you guys starting to fund? You're raising capital, or I mean, it sounds like you probably already have enough to take these down yourself.
Yeah, we tend to do so. My crew is called Quattro Capital. I actually just This is my dog here. I actually just partnered with them. I was sponsoring two of my current partners, and there was 4 of us in total. And we started to realize that we were way better off as a team, and we had complementary skills. It's one of those things, right? Like there are very smart investors in the multifamily space. But if you're a one-man show, then you're the person making the relationships, doing the deals, talking to the bank, all that type of stuff, right? But if you have partners, then you can divvy up the responsibilities and go farther faster. So with them, I've been able to do 6 complexes this year already.
Oh,
if
man,
it was just me, it might have been maybe 1 or 2 complexes only, right?
Yep.
So it's been good, but we actually focus on joint ventures for the most part, because we like to really have intimate knowledge of, or like to our partners to have intimate knowledge of the deal. And frankly, we just like working with people and helping people grow. I've done a couple syndications now. I will have to do more syndications as I get larger. But the problem for me sometimes with syndications is you lose the intimacy of who you're working with. And I don't necessarily like that, man. I like to be part of people's growth, and joint ventures just work better for me.
Yep. Nope. That makes complete sense to me.
Yep.
Awesome. So I was going to ask what's the next step for you? It sounds like you guys are getting, I mean, you've done 6 already this year. That's killing it. You guys are crushing it.
Yeah.
So the next step for you, it sounds like you're getting into a little bit bigger multifamily, more units. Before we continue on with today's guest, I want to tell you guys about a community I'm launching on School to help investors like yourself grow your own portfolio. In this community, you'll get access to all the docs I use, all the systems I've built, everything I've used to grow my own portfolio, as well as instructions and guidance on how to get out there and find great deals, how to finance those deals, and then how to manage them for great returns. Since we're just launching it, the price will be set at a measly $20 per month, and whatever price you join at is the price you'll have for life. We will be increasing the price as the group grows, so if you're at all interested in growing your portfolio along other investors, now is the time to join. I will put the link somewhere in the bio or on our podcast website at therealestateinvestingclub.com, so if you are interested, head on over there. With that said, let's get back to the podcast.
Yep, we are. So I mean, we're continuing down the path of locating deals and doing our joint ventures. We're going to have to syndicate now because there's a particular deal that popped up in the $11 million range. That's just a bit too much for the joint venture structure that we do. But here's the model of Quattro Capital. Okay, we are a core group. I love them. They're my family. Matter of fact, I mentioned to you I was over in Lebanon. They supported me going over there. Part of our pillars, we have 4 pillars: people, property, profits, and philanthropy. So when the recent blast on August the 4th happened in Lebanon, I went over to help a lot of my friends that I have over there. And in 4 days, we raised $12,000, and I took it and went to go impact people's lives. So we are a very tight-knit crew, and I love that. But what we're trying to do and what we've recognized is it's really important to give back to people and uplift people. Put your hand down the ladder the way that people put their hand down the ladder for you. So we have affiliate partners or people who are trying to get in the business. Usually people who are professional in nature, have some level of experience, maybe have done 1 or 2 deals, or at least have the capacity to push a deal through. We'll partner, wrap our arms around them, sponsor the deal, raise the capital, teach them how to do the asset management, et cetera, et cetera. It's almost like it's not mentoring per se, but it's bringing people into the family. So we don't take on everybody, but we do look for people to kind of partner with in that realm. So we have 2 kind of affiliates that are working with us now, and all that's starting to happen. It's just starting to blow up, right? We have more eyes out there, more feelers out there, more relationships, and now the pipeline has just gotten to the point where we're actually having to turn deals away, right? And everyone benefits because we're not where some, let's say, sponsors will take a significant portion of the GP just for even sponsoring. We don't do that at all. Like, we're totally equitable partners, because the goal is not just money. And I'm kind of sick of hearing in the industry, and I say this all the time, I'm tired of people saying how many units they have, and it doesn't matter. It matters how much income or equity you're generating for the benefit of your family and your life goals and what you want to do, and escaping the matrix and leaving the W-2 world. But part of it is also helping other people grow. So I am wholeheartedly focused on helping other people grow in the space, just like people that helped me. So that's the focus right now is helping people.
I love it, man. So, I mean, it sounds like you guys, what you're doing out there, I approve of it. I think it's awesome. If somebody wanted to get involved with you, what would be the way that they would go down that path?
Yeah, 100%. So they would go to the Quattro Way, W-A-Y, thequattroway.com. You can find me on there on the About page. My particular page is there, and there's a button at the bottom that just says Let's Connect. I will, and it's not even just about real estate, man. I will talk to anyone about what real estate can do from a financial freedom and time wealth perspective. And if I can help that person and they really have the value of trying to figure that stuff out, I'll find a way to help, whether or not it's formal with us or it's not formal with us. So find me on thequattroway.com. And we've kind of coined that because our way of doing business is very different. I'm not chasing money anymore at all. I'm chasing relationships with people, but this is just a byproduct of it. And then I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn, where I really spend a lot of time on Instagram because that shows all my travels and the police stuff. And because, dude, real estate is not my life. My life is my life, and real estate is a tool to live my life extremely, extremely well. That's why I do so many things outside of real estate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. So if you guys, if people listening and watching, if anybody wants to get in contact with Maurice, you have his contact information. Go out and reach out to him. Sounds like they're a great group to work with. I will also put the URL in the show notes below. So if you click the little more in the description of the episode, click that guy. It'll pop down with all the info there, and you'll be able to find his URL down there. Awesome. Maurice, we're nearing the end of the episode, so I'm going to have to push us into the quick question round. This is just where I ask you quick questions and you give me quick answers in response. And it starts with your habits. Habits are, they're the foundation of life. So if you could point to one habit that you feel has contributed the most to your life today, what would that be?
That's waking up at 4 a.m. I'm one of those guys. So I probably at least 4 days a week, if not 5, I'm out the door by 4 a.m. and at the gym. I'm done by 5:15, but I usually work on real estate between 5:30 and 7:30 in the morning before my kid gets up. So I can squeeze 2-3 hours extra time out to work on the side hustle. Even though I'm still a full-time W-2 employee, I'm always working on real estate in the morning or late at night.
Man, I love that. 4 a.m. Whew, I get up at 5:30. I thought I was a badass. You're taking it out.
I like it, man. I like it.
Awesome. Next question. This one's going to be about quotes. Not everybody has an actual quote in their mind. So if you don't, just give me the gist of the feeling of the quote.
Sure.
So what is your favorite quote that you've been told before?
My favorite quote that I've been told. How about I give you a favorite formula, because I live my life off of it. So it comes from Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week. It's freedom equals time plus mobility. I create time by generating passive income. I create mobility by employing systems so I don't get mail anywhere. I don't buy a lot of stuff. I'm a little bit of a minimalist. I'm not a commercial goods guy. So my freedom comes with creating time and having the ability to move around, both me and my family. So we pick up and leave quite a bit.
I love it, man. Freedom.
Yeah.
Wait, you say that again? Freedom equals time plus mobility?
Freedom equals time plus mobility.
That's great. So many people have said you got to read the 4 Hour Work Week. I haven't done it yet. I need to pick up that book. Everybody recommends it.
Yeah. I read it 10 years ago and I revisit it all the time.
Awesome. So next question is your younger self. If you could go back to the Maurice who back in 2002, who just bought that first unit, that first condo, go back to him, shake him or grab his hand, look him in the eye and give him one piece of advice moving forward. What is that piece of advice?
That piece of advice on the freedom side or on the growth side, don't change anything that you did. It sucked, but I wouldn't be where I am today had I not made the conscious decision to fall forward in real estate and figure it out. I wasn't willing, nor am I willing now, to follow the normal societal path that's been laid out for us. So I would keep doing that. I would tell myself that, don't change that. But on a different front, I would say there is a real estate cycle, happens every 7 to 10 years. You got to pay attention to it and know where you are in that cycle. Yep. I learned the hard way, but I've now studied them, so I understand what phase of the cycle we're in.
And we're coming up on the end of one, so
it's coming.
You guys got to be watching out there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Next question, final question actually, is books. I'm a big bookie, so if you can give one book recommendation for real estate and one book recommendation for just general life wisdom.
General life wisdom, I'll start there. It's Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. It has to deal with the Holocaust. I won't go into it, but it really gave me a good sense of 3 things that define what makes me happy. I know what those 3 things are. I unapologetically attack them. If somebody asks me to do something that doesn't fall into those 3 buckets, I don't do it. So I'm very conscious about my life steps at the moment. On the real estate side, it'd be more of a business book for the real estate side. It's the One Thing by Keller.
I know the book. I forget the author.
The One Thing, I think his last name is Keller, but Keller Williams fame. But that's a great book telling you to really focus on one thing each day that needs to get done. Get that done and then figure out the rest from there. So I'd still take that on each day to get one big thing done.
Yep, and that author is Gary Keller. So if
Gary Keller
for it, The One Thing by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, that's it. Wrapping it up. Maurice, thank you. Thanks for hopping on. This has been a great conversation. I've enjoyed learning from you.
Yeah, man. My pleasure. My pleasure. I really appreciate it.
Yep. And for everybody who's here with us today, thank you guys for showing up and being part of this conversation. Again, we could not do it without you. You are the reason that we do this. So thank you guys for being here. And again, the best way to support the show is just to subscribe, like, and share this episode with your friends and family. Other than that, I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic week. Kick ass in real estate and your life. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Awesome.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Real Estate Investing Club. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode and were able to pull some actionable advice that you can go home with and apply to your own investing business. Before you go, I have a gift for you. If you're a new investor looking to get started or an established investor looking to take your business to the next level, I've created an ebook just for you available on the website. This ebook will cover how I was able to create both active and passive income in real estate with very little money to start with. In it, I will address the 3 most often cited obstacles new and veteran investors run into by showing you how to find a deal that's actually a deal, how to finance that deal with little to no money down, and how to exit a deal for maximum value. And if you get the ebook today, I'm going to bury you in bonuses, 7 of them to be exact. First, you'll get the off-market lead generation blueprint, which will take you through the exact systems and processes we use to generate off-market leads like clockwork, which is the most important skill when it comes to creating real wealth in real estate. Then you'll get the A to Z REI systems and vendors guide, which will allow you to peek under the hood of our business and see the exact tools and systems and even the vendors we use to grow our business. After that, you will get the top 100 best performing keywords pack, which will give you the exact keywords we use to target leads online and generate leads without having to lift a finger. Next, you'll get the contracts bundle for wholesaling and renting real estate, which will give you access to all of the contracts we use in the field to execute all types of transactions. After that, you'll get the Investor's Quick Analysis Calculator and Offer Tool, which will allow you to quickly calculate whether a deal is an actual deal and will allow you to create an offer automagically from those calculations. Next up, we'll give you the Investor's Daily Success Tracker, which is a tracker you can use to ensure you are taking the right actions day in and day out to reach your financial goals in real estate. And finally, you will get the Wholesaler's Template for Quick Assignment Cash, which will give you the templates we use to present our wholesale deals professionally and efficiently to our buyers. I know that is a ton of things to say. I'm glad you were able to stick with it. So you'll get both the ebook and all of those 7 free bonuses when you download the ebook today. All we charge is the admin cost to run the show. So if you are interested in the ebook and the bonus bundle, head on over to the website at therealestateinvestingclub.com. Click on Get the Ebook Bundle at the top of the page and take advantage of that deal. With that housekeeping item covered, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, an even better week. Keep rocking real estate, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
All right, before I officially sign off, I have a quick announcement to make. If you're interested in becoming a passive investor in one of my deals, my own company, Kaizen Properties, is looking for capital partners for our upcoming projects. We invest in what are known as recession-resistant assets, mainly self-storage facilities, mobile home and RV parks, and industrial properties. If you're interested in investing and would like to learn a little bit more about my company, our investing criteria, and some of the previous projects we've done, go to the Real Estate Investing Club podcast at therealestateinvestingclub.com and scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page. Click on the Invest With Us button. That'll pop up the investor form. Fill that out, and we will reach back out to you as soon as we can. Or if you prefer a little bit more of a personal touch, you can reach out to me at gabe@therealestateinvestingclub.com. So really, that is it. Again, it was a pleasure hanging out with you guys during this episode, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.